Hello and welcome back to this playthrough of Comancheria from GMT Games. This is the Rise and Fall of the Comanche Empire scenario, and we are finally going to be going into history card number 2. But before we do that, I have to clear up a few mistakes I made in the previous video. The previous video, I was busy cooking at the time I was making the video, so I had a bunch of points where I had to go back and do some editing to cut out some bits where some stuff happened, where I had to get up and go deal with some caramelizing onions. And I noticed as I was editing it 3 pretty big mistakes that I made. The first one, pretty simply, is I meant to buy a culture card when I was doing Passage of Time. So I've bought this culture card, which will allow me to roll 2 dice when I'm placing new headmen. The other one that I made a mistake is with this card. I placed the ravage counters on settlements, and this card says tribes. So I am not allowed to, I wasn't allowed to place the ravage markers underneath these 2, which is what I did in the video, because they are settlements, they are not tribes. So rather than placing them there and removing those, what I am going to do is I'm going to say that I placed 1 here, which would have caused that to be removed because it was that ravage marker would have caused it to be removed. And then let's see, where is another good place to remove one from? I guess I don't really want to, I mean, those could be kind of useful in blocking him. So let's leave them there. And what we'll do is we'll remove, where's that guy? We'll move. There's a lot of these settlements here in the, we'll just remove that one from there. Again, I don't know if that's a particularly good thing to do, but I'm going to do it. And then the other big mistake that I made was I forgot there, when there was a war band up here, this allied tribe should have fought a battle against that war band because it's an ally of mine. I forgot to do that. And the result of this is that this battle would have been fought. This tribe would have got a +1 on a roll against that war band. They get +2 because they're an ally, and then there was a -1 because they were fighting this this 5 -1 war band. So essentially, I would have, had to roll, and on anything other than a 6, the war band would have sort of stayed, or would have defeated this tribe. The warband got removed for other reasons, so it still is removed, but the upshot is, with that roll of a 1, just to clean this up, is that this tribe should have been removed as well. And that should go back onto the instruction chart. So I apologize. The comments that people have been leaving on my previous series for this great game have been, I think they've been very helpful. I think I'm getting cleaner about this. But please keep leaving them if I'm not. At any rate, hopefully that cleans up the majority of the big sort of mistakes that I made in the prior game. So as we enter 1750 to 1799, I need to control 2 territories and have a rancheria in a third. So I'm ahead of the game insofar as I have a rancheria, a third rancheria on the board. I am a bit away from controlling a third territory. I could possibly, if I could get rid of the, that's what I should do. I should remove that one. Because now I actually control this territory, now that I think about it. See, that's what I should have removed that tribe as well. I actually control Llano Estacado now. So I control 2 and I have 3. So I'm currently meeting that victory objective, although I'm a long way away from a Passage of Time where I'll do a victory check. But the biggest concern that I have remains my green opponent, who has 2 settlements on the board. And those 2 settlements, I think, have an extremely high possibility of causing me a lot of grief, especially if this green guy gets activated, which he is now more likely to do, and ends up doing culture. So that's the thing that right now, that's the thing that I'm predicting is going to cause me to lose the game if I'm not careful. Okay. So with all of that done, or out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So I am going to do some culture actions to begin with. I need to build up a bit of a base of culture in order to hedge against these culture things happening and losing culture points. One moment. Okay, no, I checked something and I suddenly had a fear that I'd done something wrong, but I was mistaken about that one. Okay. So first things first. So for culture, I have, well, I mean, going back to make sure that I'm kind of trying to be methodical about this. War column phase. I'm not doing anything. There are no war columns on the board. Operation selection. I'm going to choose culture, and I get one for each territory with a rancheria, and one for each Comanche controlled territory. So I will actually get 5 culture points because I have 3 rancheria on the board, and both Upper Arkansas and Llano Estacado are Comanche controlled. So my culture points will shoot up to 7. So that is that. So now I'm going to do operations cleanup. No problem with stacking rules, no finish bans. So I'm drawing and revealing 1 token from here. And it is 2 enemy APs. So I believe... Okay, so they get that. Now, they don't have any left over. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be rolling to see what enemy goes. And it is going to be the north. And the north is going to flip this token. So a couple of encroaches coming up. But this first encroach costs 4. I don't have enough to pay that cost. So we will cash that in, get 2 available enemy APs. Okay. So now I have to think about my next action. So let me pause for just a minute while I actually kind of consider what I want to do now that this has gotten a little bit more complex. Okay, well, the first thing I want to do, of course, is move that down, which I should have done after I finished my culture sort of action. Sorry, I keep forgetting to do that at the right moment. So I am, again, war column phase, nothing happens. And I'm going to do take actions, and we are going to activate Rancheria B. So this is going to be a bit challenging because Rancheria B's Haribo is not particularly strong, so we can only do 1 band. But what I'm hoping to do is do a little bit of stuff here to help sort of begin to improve this rancheria, and leading to doing a planning phase. And the goal of the planning phase, as much as anything, is to move this. I'm thinking if I can move this to maybe here, or well, let's start by moving it to there. I can get in a position where I can begin to attack these settlements, which is, I think, something that I need to do. So I think I'm going to I'm going to activate this band, and then I will be thinking about doing a planning operation next. Although I might look at like what Rancheria A can do before I do that. So all that having been said, activate that band, and I'm going to move it to here. Let me just look. I don't have anything. Oh, I do. Wait, yes. So I'm going to bring this bison with me. Sorry. And so This feels, I gotta say, for those of you with experience playing this game, this is something that I've started to do more. It feels a little bit cheesy. I don't know that much about this history period, so I don't know if it is cheesy or not. But basically, I'm going to spend one turn here trading with them. And then after I trade with them, or I'll spend, movement points trading with them. And then after I spend movement points trading with them, I'm going to go ahead and raid them. So I spent one movement point. That is a 2-5. So I have 5 movement points. I spent one moving in there. I'm going to spend one more. I'm going to spend 2 to trade. 1 for the trade action and 1 because I'm a bison as opposed to trading captives. So I trade that bison and I get food instead. And then I am going to spend 1 more movement point and I'm going to raid. So I have I'm drawing 2 success tokens, and I have my Mahimiana is only a 1. So basically on a roll of 1, I'll get 1 extra, and that is the best I can possibly do. So I'm not drawing any extra. So we will draw 2. Be kind. That's kind. We get 2 success. So we put those 2 success there. And we are going to draw captives and horses. Yes, captives and horses. And we will place a ravage marker underneath that band. Okay. Ooh, okay. Have to go in and fix this. That snap point on that particular space on the map is really badly placed. I have to go fix that in the TTS mod. So I'm gonna spend 1 more, and I'm gonna raid 1 more time. Am I gonna do that? I think I'm not gonna do that. I've got a decent situation going on here. I could get lucky, but I could get lucky and get some more success tokens. I might not. And right now, I'm not at a huge amount of danger of like a big enemy turn. So much as I kind of want to do this again, I think I'm not going to do it again. I'm gonna take my what I've got and I'm gonna go. So I used that last movement point to move back. So I move him back to Rancheria B. And for once in my life, I'm going to remember to unspool all this when I get back. And we'll mark him as finished. Okay, and I'm not able to do anything more because my Paraibo in that particular in this particular rancheria is not particularly good at this point. Okay, so now stacking them is not a problem. So I have 1 finished band here. So I am going to roll a die to see if they get a free turn. They do not get a free turn. Then I'm going to draw. And they get 2 enemy APs again. So now we're going to roll to see which enemy and go from there. So that is the south. And number 4 flips. Ooh. That is not the one I wanted to flip, I wouldn't say. Okay. So, wow, that is rough. At any rate, oh, geez, look at that. And so we are going to spend the 2 APs and these 2 APs, and we are going to the the Spanish down here in the south have decided that they're anticipating what I'm planning to do. And so they're preemptively launching a war. So let me just make sure I get this right. They don't have a war column on the map. They have no ravage counters. It's not a peace space. So we place the war instruction into the enemy square. I've already kind of done that. Then I place a strength counter with the AP cost of the war instruction, plus the number of active enemy settlements in play, and then any cards that would modify that. I can delete my reminder note here. Oh, and I need to make that go away. So they're going to have a war column with a strength of 6. 4 for this, and then 1 for each of these settlements in play. So they have a nasty 6 - 3 war column there. Now, my biggest hope is that they got to fight their way. They're gonna have to fight their way through a bunch of stuff, because they can't go this direction. They can't go across dash lines. So they're gonna have to fight their way through a bunch of stuff, which maybe will have them like attrit down or give me a chance to actually like get rid of them before I actually have to fight them. Now I can also get rid of them using this card potentially, but we will shift all of that up as a result. And I believe that that is all. Yeah, the rest of what happens in operations cleanup has to do with the Santa Fe Trail, which hasn't occurred yet. Okay. So now I could do a planning phase. And if I did a planning phase, it would allow me to both improve Rancheria B and move Rancheria C. And I forgot to move this down again. But I think I can do take actions, and then I'm guaranteed I can do take actions right now, and then I will be pretty well guaranteed that I will be able to do my planning there, even if it goes down to passage of time next. So I'm thinking maybe the thing to do is to get Rancheria, but you know, the main thing I'd like to do with Rancheria A right now, I think, is kind of move them. In fact, I'm wondering if I should leave Rancheria. Might be good to do planning, because then I can kind of reposition my Rancherias significantly in order to deal with various things that are coming up. Okay, well, I have to, before I think about any of that, I have to do the war column phase. So, and I do have a war column on the board, obviously. So south is going to move 2. I'm going to pause for a second just to make sure I get this right. Okay, apologies for that break, but I was trying to understand what impact, if any, these counters have on this warband, and as near as I can tell, the answer to that is none. They do not, because they're not allied. They don't cause the war band to stop, or the war party to stop, and they don't even impact stacking. It says in the stacking rules, it said that war parties, I think I got it up over here, stacking limits do not apply to war columns, nor to war columns right there. So I think based on that, and please, if I'm getting this wrong, please tell me, but I think this counter, so the closest Rancheria, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. So I think that this counter is going, this war party is going to move 1, 2 and end up in that space right there. That is my best guess about what is going to happen there. I think that's right. So then I roll, then I get to draw a card. Spend up to 3 movement points in a war space with 1 band. For each MP spent, reduce war column strength. Now, that would be fabulous if I could do it. But I don't know that I can do that. Now I rolled to see if if it attrits, which it does. So it goes down by 1 to a 5-2. That's a pretty scary beast making its way towards me here. So what's kind of interesting here is what happens. You know, I'm planning to move this. Well, I guess if I move this guy to here, then this band is just going to head that way. Okay. This is very interesting. Suddenly I feel like I'm being hunted. I think that's intentional by this game. All right. That's my war column phase. So now I think I'm going to do planning is what I'm going to do. I don't really see, I don't think it's super realistic to do anything different. Sorry, I was just sort of let me think for a minute and come back and make sure I'm going to do planning. So yes, I believe that I am going to do planning. So let's go make sure that I do this correctly. Each Mahimiana with 1+ success in his medicine track, medicine +1. So he gets medicine +1. Then I transfer 1 to the Paraibo. So I'm going to transfer 1 to the Paraibo, add 1 to him, and then this will get transferred to here. By the way, I think when I was over here, I was talking about my Paraibo. I was saying my Paraibo had a 1, and that's why I was rolling. But it's the Mahimiana, obviously, when I'm doing success checks. So I've got a much better chance now of getting some extra draws on that success check. Okay, so I have done that. Now I get to increase the Paraibo's medicine by +1. So that will allow me to activate both of those bands, but then I move that success token to out of play. Okay. Now I can either conduct each in-play rancher per may either conduct 1 headman action or attempt to take more than 1 headman action. Okay, so let's start with this guy, and we're going to roll to find out how many headman actions he's going to get. So he gets 5. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. So I'm going to spend 1 AP, and I'm going to grab this tactical advantage card. That'll make it a little bit easier to do raids, or it'll help me when I'm doing raids. And I think I'm going to play this to end that. Sorry, I may have been doing that a little bit late, but I'm going to spend that, and I'm going to end this war. I realize that there is another war that, you know, could end up coming, just a few down on the instruction track for this. But that is a 6, and what I'm hoping is by then I'll have some Ravage tokens on the board, which will make it a little bit easier for me to maybe make it a little bit easier for me to prevent that from actually happening, because they'll spend their time worrying about Ravage tokens rather than attacking me. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry. Okay, so that's 1 of his 5. So just so I don't forget, move that to a 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up quality mounts as well. We'll spend another AP to pick up quality mounts as well. And then let's spend 2 to replenish those APs that I just spent. So he can take 1 more. And culture is greater than military. Spend 1, 2, okay. So, let's see. I'm getting potentially, what was that? I got 5 culture, right? So I'm going to spend 3 culture points to get 3 military points. Stock up on those. Let me go back, because I think I can't get that far. So I spend 1 culture point to get 1 military point. I spend 1 culture point to get 1 military point. And now culture is no longer greater than military, so I can't do that again. So I'm only able to do that twice. I guess I'll spend an AP to return this to the cup. And I don't think I'm going to I don't think I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to do anything else with him. Probably won't do anything else with any other guys as well. So here I'm just going to do 1 action with this guy, but I don't think there's anything I really want to do. I don't see the value in spending those APs. I don't cancel 1 die roll or success check draw. Yeah, why not? I'll spend 1 AP and we'll pull this card. We'll get this card into my hand as well. And then this guy is going to do 1 as well. And he'll spend 1 to replenish that AP. Okay, so I've done all of my headman actions. I don't have any Mahi Miana with a rating of 0. All finished band strength is reduced by 1. So that is not particularly ideal in this case, but it is what it is. Marked as unfinished. I can move up all in-play Rancheria counters. Okay. So Rancheria B could move 2 spaces if it wanted to. I don't think it wants to. Rancheria A can really move quite far if it wants to. Rancheria A could move 9 spaces. So I mean, Rancheria A could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, and then it'd be able to kind of deal with this. It'd be leaving this a little bit open. But I kind of like that, because the problem with Rancheria C, I can get Rancheria C here, and he can attack this settlement, but it's a little bit hard to get. Oh, but you know what? If I do that, I'm not going to be. Oh, interesting. I'm just realizing if I move all of them that far, then I'm going to have some difficulty with. I won't control as many territories. I don't know that that's necessarily the worst thing. So I think so Rancheria C can move 3. I know that, and I think I want to move Rancheria C where I was always thinking about moving it, which is I'm going to move him to there. And then I think what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Rancheria A 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll move him to there. So I'm still controlling Llano Estacado. But I can also use Rancheria A maybe to actually, maybe not. I think I'm going to move him all the way to here. I'm gonna go after green. I'm gonna go after green. I'm gonna try and get these settlements off the board, and then maybe I'll get another planning phase in, and I can reposition A again. Okay, so I've moved all of my in-play rancherias. Okay, now I execute one free enemy instruction. So, who is going to be the activated enemy? So it is going to be the north, and that flips. So the north is going to hunt. So, just remind myself, believe that they just roll to pick up an area, determine a territory. Territory 5, so Brazos, Colorado. And do I remove it from the lowest? Oops. Hunt. Random selection. Okay. So this will be 1, 2, 3. This will be 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So this bison comes off the board. All right, so then we reset. And that is their free instruction during planning. Okay. Then this moves down, so that returns to the cup. Next turn I'll be rolling for potential passage of time. But now I go to operations cleanup. So no stacking rule problems. No one has unfinished bans. So I'm drawing one token. And it's a success token, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, so basically the enemy gets no actions. They don't have any banked APs or chits with APs on them. So, now, war column phase. I have gotten rid of the only war column on the board. So I'm going to do take actions. And I think I'm going to use Rancheria A to do this. So, first things first, we are going to take a horse, a Mahimiana, and this warband. And we're going to move them one to there. And then we're going to raid. So my Mahimiana is a 3. So let's see how many chits I'm drawing. So I'm only drawing 2. 1, 2. Woohoo! Oh, baby. Did not mind that one bit. So, I think Rancheria A's got horses. I'm going to take 1 captives and... Oh, interesting. What those guys are doing. Oh, did I? Wait. I forgot to put these with Rancheria B. I forgot to put these underneath my warband last time when Rancheria B did this. So I apologize. They should have gone back into that rancheria. So similarly here, I'm going to grab a captive and a horse. And this time I'm going to remember to put them here with the band. And as well, we place a ravage marker there. So we're going to raid again. So we're rolling again to see how many tokens we're drawing. Still only drawing 2. Okay, I am not unhappy with this result. We're going to take a captive. I'm just going to drop it there, and we're going to place another ravage marker there. I have an idea. And I am going to raid one more time. Oh, do I really want to do that? This is where I really like. I pulled a bunch. I love one of the components of this game, the draw cup. I pulled out a bunch of success tokens, which is great, but it means that this cup is now like really slanted against me. And I run the risk of rolling like a 1, and then I'm drawing 4, and then I could end up drawing 3 AP tokens. And so there's a part of me that's like, should I just take the money and run? Can always use this, and I can always use this. So we're going to roll. So we're still only drawing 2, so that's not terrible. So let's see. Step 1, I've already done that, so I would have had to have made this decision then. So, oh well. I'll have to remember that card has to be played then. All right, I'm going to live with that. So I get 1 more success. I get 1 more captive. And I get, more importantly, I get 1 more ravage token. That's the really important bit. And then with my last movement point, I'm going to move him back to Rancheria A. Okay. That, and I'm going to mark him finished. Sorry. That is my first band from there. Now my second band from A is going to grab a horse. And they're going to move 1, 2. And then they're going to raid there. So no roll. And I'm going to play this card. So I roll a die. Three. So I treat it as 1 success drawn, no medicine impact. Now that's okay because I don't get to keep them anyway. So I'm going to grab a horse. And I'm going to place a ravage marker. And then I'm going to spend 1 more MP, 1 more movement point, and I'm going to use this card again. And this time I get a success. So we will, wow, grab a captive. And place a ravage token. Hope I'm doing this right. I hope I'm understanding this card correctly. And then we will return randomly, but they're both 3, so it doesn't matter. They're the same thing. And then with my last movement point, I'm actually going to move this to Rancheria C. they will go back to Rancheria C. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but this feels like it was good. Okay. So, do I want to do anything else with the rest of these bands? I don't believe I do. I could do some there. I'm not going to do anything else with these bands. I don't want to risk anything. I'm in pretty good shape, and I'm not even going to spend that 2-5. I'm not even going to finish him in order to get the AP. I don't really need the 1 AP right now, so I'm just going to actually cease that move and send them both back here unfinished. So that is my take actions. So now, no stacking rule problems. So I have 2 Rancherias, each with 1 finished band. So the yellow die is for Rancheria C, and the green die is for Rancheria A, essentially. So neither of those triggers an enemy, free enemy action. So now I have to go back a second. So I have to roll for this. Sorry. We're going to keep that result, but I have to roll for this. So on a 5, that just moves down 1. Okay. So now we actually deal with this. So we're rolling the yellow die, again, is which... So the west is going to go... Oh, they're going to settle those rotten those rotten Spanish in the west. And they're going to spend their 3 AP, and they are going to settle. So let me remind myself of the priorities for this. So those of you who've played this, do you ever get to the point where you can remember this? I feel like there's so many of these, like I can never remember things like, what's the priority order for choosing spaces. Maybe if I play this long enough, it'll become ingrained, but it hasn't to date. So at any rate, these are the 2 options. So I can either go here or here to place a settlement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are going to go up here. They're going to return to that space, having noticed that the Rancheria has moved away. They are going to settle that space. So I'm going to have to go back and deal with the yellow yet again. Oh my god, they have a lot of wars coming up. Holy cow. Holy cow, that is crazy right there. Okay. Okie dokie. So actually, looking at this, I think this is where I'm going to break this video. I'm going to break this video here. Hopefully you have enjoyed this. I definitely feel like this video is maybe a little more disjointed than others because I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing here in history period 2. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. If you are, it would be great if you could leave a like, on the video or comment. The comments again on the rules that I'm getting wrong, greatly helpful. They really are. I know it might feel like I'm not taking them into account, but the problem is the other 2 series were finished before you ended up providing those comments, and hopefully this playthrough is going a little bit better. If you're enjoying the channel, it'd be great if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell. But with that, we will close this video and return next time for more Comancheria on Agility Snip's gaming table.